Tonight on the podcast, Lance demonstrates and models his fall collection of Merkins.
Welcome to my party, we're just getting started, a life is a dream.
Welcome to another brand new episode of Bedside Talk with Matt and Lance. I'm Matt.
I am Lance.
And tonight, we're talking the other side of the pillow. Is it really cool? Or is it a health nightmare? Stay tuned. What's going on, everyone?
Are you high?
No, not at all.
Why are you talking?
I'm high on Spiderman.
You said, okay, I think I know what a merkin is, but I'm not sure.
It's a pubic wig.
Pubic quake?
Wig.
A wig.
Yeah, it's
like
a
a
pubic
toupee
wig.
for your
Yep.
privates?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. No wonder I didn't know what that was, because why would that come up in conversation?
Because being a Jay and Silent Bob fan, you should know what it is, because they talk about it in Reboot. Remember, they call the dude that's driving them for Ride Me Now, call him Merkin.
Do they explain what a merkin is?
Yeah.
Dude, I need to watch that movie again. I don't remember that.
Yeah, he says it. What's the actor's name? I can't think of the actor's name that plays that character. He's in. God, I can't think of his name now. But
what's he in?
He's in like a bunch of stuff. He's in. I want to say he was in Portlandia.
Oh, Fred Armisen?
Yes, Fred Armisen. Yes.
He's in Reboot?
Yeah, he's the dude who's driving him to
I've watched
to
this
California.
movie.
He's the fucking Tater Tots guy.
Oh, that's right.
Tater Tots filled with hate.
I remember that. Dude, I've seen that movie twice and I barely remember any. I remember
I've seen that movie like 10 times.
That's why you can remember these things.
Yeah.
I need to watch that movie again, because I remember.
I don't even want to tell you how many times I've seen Clerks 3.
Oh, you're talking about Jay and Silent Bob Reboot.
Yeah.
Why was I thinking Clerks 3 in my head? I need to watch both of these movies again.
I don't know.
Look, I got my Jay and Silent Bob Reboot picture right there. Do you see that?
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
I've watched Clerks 3 probably 30 times, dude.
So Jay and Silent Bob Reboot, I've only seen once. Clerks 3, I've seen twice. So that's why I don't remember a lot of, because I was thinking, I don't remember, but as soon as you said the Tater Tots thing, I was like, well, I've seen that, but I don't remember which movie it was in.
Filled with hate.
All I remember about Clerks 3 is I cried.
Me too. It's sad. Sad movie.
Poor Dante.
But what else is going on, man? What's new? What's good in the world of Lance? We got a big day today, like Big Friday.
Yeah, I had a long week, dude. I started my week out, went on a company trip to Lake Havasu. I'm a native of Arizona, and I've never been to this place. It's hot as fuck. Lake Havasu is hot as fuck, dude. It's hotter than Phoenix. Did you know that?
No.
It's about 2 to 3 degrees hotter than Phoenix at all times. It's almost. They were telling me, because one of my coworkers lives there. That's why we went there, and she was telling me that it's as hot, if not almost as hot, as Death Valley, Lake Havasu.
Did you jump in the lake?
No, I didn't have time to do that, because we did axe throwing and fucking VR, and like it was just like a team building thing.
Nice.
But
I wouldn't do that.
Axe throwing?
Team building.
It's a lot of fun. I get along with my coworkers. I like them all. They don't watch the show, so they'll never know I said that. But I
just go to work and do my job and then go home.
I'm with them almost as much as I'm with my own wife.
That's sad.
So it's, I kind of had to, I kind of have to get to know these people. I don't, I'm rarely just behind my computer. But so I've never been to Lake Havasu, and that is where London Bridge is, right? So they've shipped the stones from London, wherever it was, to Lake Havasu, and that's where the London Bridge is. because of the song, I always thought London Bridge was like this, like just little dinky bridge, like made
That
out of
falls
like,
down a lot.
yeah, that
London
falls
Bridge
down.
is
So
falling down.
in my head, I'm like, oh, it's just a bridge that probably gets over like just a small river or something like that, right? London Bridge is fucking huge. And and it's nice. Like I was thinking it's like pebbles and something that falls down frequently. No, it's a legit bridge that cars drive on, and it's long, and they didn't even build the whole thing. So they shipped all these stones to Arizona, built the bridge here, and they still have stones left over that they didn't, because it was longer in London. And it's fucking huge. And I was pretty impressed. It's all lit up purple and shit. We stood at the end of the bridge, looked over into the lake, watching the houseboats and stuff.
Nice.
Have you ever seen it?
I've never been to Lake Havasu.
It is fucking huge. And Lake Havasu is just filled with old people and young people party. Like, it's so weird. It's the weirdest collection of people, because there's like retirees there, but then it also filled with like late 20 to late 30-year-olds drinking it up and having fun and partying. But I didn't see one child. like like a kid. I didn't see a single kid anywhere. We went to this restaurant. It's called Chabones or something like that. It was something weird like that. Got this nice ribeye. It was awesome. And it was just
all in the company though, right?
All in the company, yeah. And it was all old people and younger people, but nobody under the age of 22 did I see in my 3 days there. I don't know if there's kids there. I have no idea.
Nope, they just don't exist there.
I don't know. I don't know, man. But
if a kid goes there, they automatically just like unspeakably age to 23.
So then I was bummed because
I any kids.
No. I was bummed because when I go to like cities I haven't been to before, especially older cities like this one, where it seems like there's a lot of like it's an eclectic collection of like thrift stores and things like that,
so like Jerome and things like that.
Yeah, I was hoping to go to like an old record place because I'd like to go to old record stores, and they don't have a single one there. They don't have a single music store in Lake Havasu.
Doesn't surprise me. I mean, it's not the like, it's niche right now, like vinyl's just starting to come back, so it's kind of niche. Like the fact that we have stinkweeds in Phoenix and stuff, it's because they've been spoiled, there for so long.
We're kind of spoiled. Like we have Asylum, stinkweeds. We lost that one that was right across the street from Kyle's wife's restaurant. What was that one called? It was like the oldest one in Phoenix.
I have no idea.
And then we got Zia. Like we've got like 13 different Zias, right?
Yeah. But Zia's more like I would say Zia is more like a pop culture store than
they have a huge record collection.
Well, yeah, they do, because I mean there's Zia Records, but they do sell like comic books and video games, and like they sell all kinds of different stuff, not just records and music.
Right. It's Blu-rays and video games and toys and books. They sell everything.
It's more like a pop. It reminds me of more like a Sunco or like FYE.
Yeah, FYE is probably a good comparison, but it's about triple, if not quadruple, the size.
Yeah,
like Zia Records is huge.
Yeah, but
then we got Bookman's. You've been to Bookman's?
Mm-hmm.
Bookman's has a huge record, so we got a lot of record places out here in the East Valley and the West Valley. But yeah, I was like, oh, I got some time to kill before I go home. It's a 4-hour drive home, and wanted to stop by a record store, and not a single one there.
Nice. That sucks.
Yeah, it is what it is. But speaking of records, I picked up the new Blink. We were talking about that before we started recording.
Yeah.
You and I have polarizing opinions on it.
Not really. I mean, a lot of the times when it's just to troll you, and I'm like, oh, this sucks. Like, I definitely don't think like, I definitely don't think that like everyone who's praising it being like, oh, this is the best Blink album ever. I don't think that's the case.
Oh, I don't put it up. I don't.
Like
It's not
I
on that.
definitely think like Enema of the State is better. But
So can I tell you something that's going to be shocking to you?
what?
Because you brought up that album. So Blink's one of my favorite bands. Enema of the State is one of the lower albums on my list.
Really?
It's just so, I mean, it's good, don't get me wrong. Like it's not the bottom of my list, it's just not at the top, right? It's just really predictable and so pop punk that it's a lot of it comes off as cheesy. Like I hate All the Small Things. Can I tell you that? That song, it's their biggest song. I fucking hate that song. And they wrote it as a big fuck you to the record company. Because the record company, they handed in their record, and the record company's like, none of these are singles. You need to write a catchy, poppy single. And they wrote that song, and that's why it's filled with the na-na-nas and all that stuff as a big fuck you to the record company. And it became their biggest song ever. And even in the music video, they're making fun of pop bands. Like the whole point of that song is to be so poppy that it's gross and then make fun of these poppy boy bands. So I hate that song. Untitled was probably top of the list for me with I Missed You.
Yeah, that's a lot of people's. Like Take Off Your Pants and Jacket is probably up there for me too.
That's probably number 2 because they started to get a little angsty with that one. Right? But don't get me wrong, Dysentery Gary on Enema is one of my favorite songs. I love that song. So it's not like I hate that album. It's just not top for me. And like, Kyle brought it up online how cheesy they are and stuff. And I'm like, well, you probably listen to All the Small Things and then develops your opinion from there.
Yeah. And like, I don't know. Enema of the State is just one of those albums that I can throw on and just vibe to. And like, I'll listen to it when I'm in the gym or, you know, it's just one of, like I said, it's one of those albums I can throw on and vibe to. And that's kind of what I like about Blink is that they've just got songs that you can vibe to. Like you don't have to put a bunch of thought into it. And I don't know, Kyle's into like that screamo music and shit. And
but he doesn't even like screamo. He likes like metal.
He likes Ghost and
which when you're talking about cheesy bands
and Motionless in White. And
you talk about cheesy bands and you bring up those two. Motionless in White is, I don't like them, dude. It's like a bunch of guys that are like, hey, look at us, we're metal, and we're gonna do, we want to prove to you that we're metal. When I think metal, I think Lamb of God, Children of Bodom, Cradle of Filth. Like that's fucking metal. But yeah, and then I listen to screamo too, and he's like, he doesn't like anything where they have like higher voices. But Ghost is awful.
I can't stand screamo, dude. Rock, dude. I don't know. To me, rock just, I don't know, man. My taste in music has changed so much that rock is just not. It depends really on what band it is, but today's version of rock just does not connect with me.
That's why I appreciate this album, because a lot of the songs you can hear they're paying homage to all the different sounds of Blink, not only Blink, but Angels and Airwaves and Plus 44 and Boxcar Racer. Like each song touches on something if you're a fan of any of those bands, right?
Yeah.
So like if you listen to Hurt on the album, it sounds very much like Angels and Airwaves. And then the song Terrified is actually a Boxcar Racer throwaway that they've had on a hard drive for, whenever that album came out. And they brought it back for this and kind of reorganized it and stuff to include Mark in it, right? And then you listen to fucking Bad News, and Bad News sounds like a Newfound Glory song. It's so poppy.
Yeah.
And so just, it sounds like 20-year-olds wrote it. But there's something there for everybody. And then they got the fucking Cure song that they did, the Fell in Love, and that's going to probably speak to the people that are into like those pop bops or whatever.
Is that the one where
you said you didn't like it?
Yeah, Tom starts off and he's like, when I teach masturbation, I'm just like, just go for it.
That's Dance with Me, and
Oh, okay.
Dance with Me reminds me of like First Date Rock Show. It's the one with the
Yeah.
ole ole, like it's
Yeah.
very sing-alongy, but it's more progressive in my mind than like Bad News. Bad News is very, very pop punk. But
I mean, I think so far my favorite song on this album is One More Time and then Edging. Like,
see, and I don't care for Edging that much.
I do. I think it's
Edging was
fucking
cool because it was the first time hearing
great.
them after 12 years, right? Like
Yeah.
together again. But it didn't. So when One More Time came out, I listened to it like on repeat over and over again and watched the video over and over again. The video's phenomenal. Edging didn't do that for me. Now, Anthem Part 3, the one that you said you didn't really care for Anthem Part 3, right?
I've only listened to it once. Like I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh well, this album sucks or this album's great because I haven't even listened to the whole thing. Like I've listened to a majority of it, but I've only
Yeah.
listened to it once. And sometimes it takes me like one or two run throughs to actually be like, okay, like here's my full thoughts on this album. But I'm not
So
really a
I've
music guy. Like I used to be a big music guy, but
Yeah.
I've since have not been because I kind of feel like, and I kind of blame Metallica for it, honestly,
They
because
pissed you off with Saint Anger, didn't they?
yes, and like I mean, people make fun of me. Like my favorite Metallica albums are like Injustice for All, Master of Puppets, the Black Album.
Well,
I
that
do
should
like
be everybody's favorite.
Well, I do like Load and Reload, and I also like Garage Days, or Garage. Yeah, I think it's called Garage Days. I can't remember the name of the album, but where they
Yeah.
cover all the songs. They do all the cover songs, and then I like S&M where they play with the
You're talking about like 80s,
orchestra.
90s Metallica.
Yes, and then you go Saint Anger forward, and I think they just have not been this. Like it's not been my cup of tea, and I think that's my biggest thing with music is I want to see bands progress and change their sound as they get older, but I don't want to hear them go back because like Metallica's sound started to change. Like there's a difference between like Master of Puppets, and then moving forward, and then you get like Saint Anger and their current stuff, and they're going back to that like Master of Puppets type stuff. And
Well, Saint Anger, I feel like is really poppy.
I think Saint Anger is trash.
Yeah,
I bought that album, listened to it through once, and threw it out the window driving on the highway.
What I remember from Saint Anger, I'm not a huge Metallica fan. I like Metallica. I appreciate Metallica, but I'm not this huge Metallica fan, right? I understand their importance to music, right? What they've done for music in history, right? But what I remember from Saint Anger, specifically the single that they came out with, is it was really like sing-songy. Like it was
Yes,
like a
Saint
single.
Anger in your
Yeah,
head.
and I
Yeah.
remember thinking, this isn't Metallica. This sounds like something you can sing along to.
Yeah.
And Enter Sandman's not like sing-alongy, right? Like it's more of like a progressive metal song, I get. Like I don't know how to classify Metallica, just 80s metal.
I'm interested in your classification of like sing alongy because I feel like Inner Sandman's like that song that everybody sings along to.
You can sing along to it, but what I'm saying is like pop song, like I think there's a difference between singing along to a song. I don't know how to say it, but like songs sound poppy and that sound like they were written to be sung along to. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Enter Sandman didn't seem to be written to be a pop song, right? It just is a good song that people like, so they sing along to it. It's like when we talk about Blink, right? They have All the Small Things. All the Small Things was a song that, they put the na-na-nas and all this other shit in there.
Mhm.
It's a song that's meant to be sung along to. But if you listen to old Blink, like Cheshire Cat and Buddha, They got M&Ms and Carousel, and they made those songs for the sheer joy that they like that, or for the sheer reason that they like that music, right? Like that's what punk was to them.
Mhm.
And so they didn't write it with the intention of having crowds sing these songs back to them, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's like, you can sing along to any song if it has words in it, right?
Yeah.
What's the other big Metallica one? Enter Sandman and
They've got like the
Master of
Unforgiven, Master of Puppets, For Whom the Bell Tolls.
Oh, the From Whom the Bell Tolls. I like that one too.
But see, I'm a fan of bands like, I feel like a lot of bands, once they hit it and they start making like hits strictly for the radio, I lose interest in them. Like I love old school like Shinedown.
Yeah,
Like,
I like Shinedown.
and then once they hit like US mainstream and they're making hits on the radio, I feel like their music is fucking tanked.
Yeah, because they're kind of trying to keep the train rolling, right?
Like Five Finger Death Punch. Like I like their non-mainstream stuff, and then they went and became trash. Like Pop Evil, dude. I've been listening to Pop Evil before they were even huge, because they used to play clubs in the town I grew up in, Michigan.
Yeah.
And so like I've listened to Pop Evil before they were even big and mainstream. And then once they've been mainstream, like, dude, their music is not the same. But my taste in music has changed. Like it's like I'm more into like 80s and 90s stuff right now. Like, you know, Motley Crue, fucking Tom Petty. Like I definitely listen to the classic rock station more than I listen to anything else.
Yeah, you like a lot of those older classic rock bands that I don't particularly care for.
But that's what I grew up on. Like I was raised on that, because that's what my dad would always listen to, because
the hair metal stuff, right?
Well, but I mean, he grew up in the 70s and 80s, so that's the music I was raised on. Your Megadeth, your Guns N' Roses, your Pantera, Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, Kansas, AC/DC.
See, so some of those I like.
Sabbath, yeah.
Some of those I like. Like I like Kansas. I like Tom Petty. My dad showed me that
Boston,
stuff, right? Boston, right? My dad showed me. How old's your dad? Like what?
My dad is just turned 63.
Oh, so our parents are close to the same age. But I feel like my dad never showed me like Motley Crue. Like we listened to Def Leppard, right?
Yeah.
Queensryche, Deep Purple.
Yep.
Right. But the glam rock guys, the Motley Crues, the what's another example of that? The glam Poison, right?
Yeah.
Never he didn't listen to it.
Twisted Sister,
yeah. I think he was more into because Motley Crue, a lot of their stuff was very radio friendly for that period, right?
Yeah.
Or Poison, they sing that Pour Some Sugar on Me, right? That's a very is that Poison?
I
Pour some sugar.
Yeah, I think I'm drawing a blank.
Or is that Motley Crue?
No, it's definitely not Motley Crue.
But to me, all those songs.
No, that's Def Leppard, dude. Pour Some Sugar on Me is Def Leppard.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is. 100% Def Leppard.
Well, I don't like that song because it's very.
Poison's like Every Rose Has Its Thorn. Definitely Def Leppard.
Oh, it is Def Leppard. It's on Hysteria. I don't like that song.
But
there's a lot of bands that have songs like that I'm not into.
But like my brother, my brother who's fucking 26, he kind of grew up the same way. So like we're both big Pink Floyd fans, and
Floyd.
He went like the opposite route. So he went backwards. Like he would like music from the 40s and 50s.
Your brother?
And shit when he was younger. Like he used to like all those old 40s and 50s songs and shit. And then he finally started getting into Pink Floyd, and then now he's into like rap and weird shit. But
I'm not against hip hop or rap, but the only rap and hip hop that I like has like messages behind it. You know what I mean? Like the 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 lyrics are actually like meaningful. You know what I mean?
yeah,
I'm not into a lot of the shit that hits the radio. Like Eminem is a big one for me that I like Eminem because most of his songs are heartfelt and have purpose behind them, right? Or Dr. Dre. But then you got like Snoop Dogg that has some songs that I'm like, not into it, right? Because there's no purpose behind it, right? It's just singing about bitches or something like that. I hate new hip hop.
yeah. I'm not like the only new stuff I'll listen to is like Kendrick Lamar and
But
stuff like that. But this,
he writes purposeful songs.
yeah, but like this, like, and I'm not. I like a lot of Post Malone stuff too, but
I like him
like this
too.
new like wave of fucking SoundCloud rappers like Lil Pump and Lil Xan and
What's the one
shit
that
like
died?
that. Yeah, X Takeshian or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, I
Or
wasn't
like
into him as much.
I don't know, but my music tastes have changed. Like I like to listen to bands that I listened to as a kid just because it reminds me of, that time. Like you sit here and you're having a shitty day and you just pop that on and you vibe to like so it's crazy how like music it can really be used as a time machine because you can listen to
Yeah.
that song and it like pulls you back to like, oh, I remember sitting in my room doing this while this was playing, or talking to this girl while this was playing, or I was here when I heard this song. It's really like the closest thing that we'll probably ever get to a time machine. But
Yeah, it really opens up a portion of your brain, like the nostalgia part of your brain, right? Like, so that's why One More Time is so good. That Blink song, specifically with the video, right? You
yeah,
watch
I
One
was
More
gonna say
Time,
you have to get the full effect of and behind that song, like you have to watch the video with it.
the video is phenomenal. The
Yeah,
video might be one of the top 10 videos I've seen ever, right? Like, just because of the nostalgia factor. Like, nothing has ever pulled at my heartstrings like that song has.
yeah.
Um, but that's why I like Apple Music, and I'm not sure if Spotify does this, but Apple Music has this setting, like infinity setting,
Mhm.
um, where I can put on a playlist or I can put on um an album. And then when the album's done, it'll start playing other stuff that's like that I haven't heard before. And what's cool is there's a lot of bands and artists that are not big artists that are making some really good music, but it's not the mainstream shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Someday it will be. I think so because punk rock in general right now is making a resurgence, man. I mean, Blink-182 has the #1 album in the world right now.
Yeah.
Like, who would have thought Blink-182? Their last album didn't do that well, and the last album they did with Tom didn't do that well. And then this album comes out and it's fucking it's dominating TikTok right now. It's everywhere.
What's really crazy for me?
Hmm.
And I'm sure like my dad probably feels that in the old generation is I'm 38, seeing my 17-year-old sister be into the same music I was into at her age. Like
Isn't that
she
weird?
she loves the Gorillas, and I was a huge Gorillas fan when I was her age, and like Weezer and
I just bought
shit like
Pinkerton.
that. So
Weezer Pinkerton on vinyl. I just bought it.
and then she's like into Ghost and bands like that, and I'm like, okay, that but just the fact that she's like, I didn't even know she was into Gorillas. She was like, oh, I was at a Gorillas concert, and I got to be front and center, on the floor right next to the stage, and I was like, I didn't even know you liked Gorillas. Like, so weird
Feel
that like
Good Inc. is such a good fucking song, dude. I don't
it
care what
is
anybody
Clint
says.
Eastwood, dude. Clint Eastwood is
Wait, is the album Feel Good Inc. and Clint Eastwood is the song?
cool. I believe that Clint Eastwood is on Feel Good Inc. Yes.
Okay, so Feel Good Inc. is the.
But I believe they have a song called Feel Good Inc. too.
So I was thinking about Clint Eastwood. That's a dun 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 dun. That's that song, right? Feel good. That one.
No, that's no, fuck, you're getting me all riled up now.
That's
No,
what
I
song
think
is
that's
that?
actually Feel Good Inc.
Oh, is that the name of the song? That's the song I
Yeah.
like. That was like their first big hit.
No, their first big hit was Clint Eastwood.
I got to listen to the Gorillaz again. You know what's crazy about the Gorillaz? And I only found this out recently. They're the Blur. Remember Blur?
Yeah, they're lead singers from the Blur. Yeah.
And I had no fucking idea. And I love song number. Is it song number 2 from Blur?
Yes, I want to say yes.
Their big one. Woohoo!
Yeah.
Da.
Yep.
That sounds fucking awesome, dude. I had no idea. I never connected those dots until like.
This is Clint Eastwood.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
You were talking about Clint Eastwood, but they do have a song called Feel Good Inc. But the Feel Good, that's Feel Good Inc. Yeah.
Yeah, I like both of those songs.
But
Clint Eastwood was their first big one. I remember that. I remember seeing the music video for that on MTV, like it was like a debut. And I remember thinking the animation was so fucking cool.
But
It says, finally, somebody let me out of my cage.
Yeah.
That's Clint Eastwood, right?
But the cool thing about Gorillaz is that there's a story behind it. Like it's an overarching story. It's a continuous story.
That's why I like
behind the
Coheed and
band.
Cambria.
Yeah, Coheed and Cambria is the same way. But we've gone on music for 30 minutes. Like I don't claim to know anywhere near as much about music as you and Kyle, but like my taste in music generally goes about like my mood. But I like all kinds of like I don't really listen to a lot of country, but I'll fuck with some country a little bit. But I like 90s hip hop and gangster rap like Tupac and Biggie and fucking
all those artists that you've
Bone
named.
Thugs and
Bone Thugs and
fucking
Wu-Tang.
LL Cool J and
Wu-Tang.
Wu-Tang.
All these artists that we've
Public
mentioned.
Enemy.
Yeah. That's Ice Ice Cube, right? Is Public Enemy or Ice-T?
No, it's Ice Cube.
Which one was Ice-T in?
No, maybe. God damn it, dude! My brain's all fucking.
We're talking about stuff that I haven't thought of in 20 years,
right?
So I forget, like. Public Enemy is.
Public Enemy was Flavor Flav. Chuck D, Flavor Flav.
Well, could you really say Flavor Flav was Flavor Flav was the hype guy?
Well, I mean, he was in there.
He was, but he was the hype guy, right? I never understood that about hip hop. The hype guy. Like, do you remember
the hype man's
the D12?
Yep.
They had like one guy in their group that was just there to like hype up the crowd.
Yeah.
And I always thought that was weird because with punk rock music, you do not need that. Like the music hypes up the crowd.
But yeah, like I said, like 90s rap, NWA, fucking Ice Cube on his own, the Chronic.
Oh, Today Was
album.
a Good Day is a great song.
Yeah, Chronic 2001, like Eminem. I was a huge Eminem fan. But like, so I like hip hop and I like rap and I like
Ice-T was in Body Count.
Yes, pop punk. Like fucking Blink, classic rock. I like okay, like just I like some electronic music. Like
that's where I have a hard time, the electronic stuff, because with hip hop and rap, at least a lot of it that I listen to, at least they're trying to mimic real instruments, or sometimes they have real instruments in the studio, right? Recording these songs. The electronic, once they take out the string or the percussion instruments or whatever, and it's all a computer doing the work, I have a hard time with that. Unless it's something that's very lyrically smart and lyrically driven, then I can get down with it because then I can see the artistry in that, right?
Mhm.
But when it's just a computer coming up with a cool beat and somebody saying the same 5 words over and over again, that to me is not artistry. And that seems to be a lot of what's popular right now.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I have a really hard time with that. But like Pink Floyd had a lot of like electronic sounding stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I like
And I
fucking
love
like
Pink Floyd.
Above and Beyond is one of my favorite electronic music bands. Dash Berlin.
Dash
Um,
Berlin.
Yeah.
It's like you took Dashboard Confessional and Anne Berlin.
I
and just
loved
squished them
Dashboard
together.
when I was a teenager too.
I'd never been a Dashboard fan.
No?
No, Chris Carrabba, who's the lead singer of Dashboard, there's a couple songs I like. Like there's a couple songs you can't help but like, right? The real popular ones for Dashboard especially. But Dashboard Confession, Chris Carrabba's voice, there's something about it that I don't like. Which is funny because I listen to Blink and I love Tom's voice.
Yeah, but like Cascade is another one that I like that's electronic. And then like I go to like rap, like Juice WRLD. Juice WRLD's probably like the most recent like mainstream rapper
I've
that I
heard
really
of him.
like.
Did he die?
Yeah, he died of a drug overdose. But then
Really
I like
you know who I really like that's recent? Mac Miller.
he's not recent. He's been around for a long time. He's dead.
I know he died.
But he's been around for a long time.
How long ago did he die?
Years ago, dude.
Has it been that long?
Oh
I
yeah.
was considered. Well, that show goes to show you he's the most recent thing that I've been into as far as new hip hop, I guess, or whatever.
Yeah, his fucking song "Smile Back" is one of my favorite songs. He died in 2018.
Oh, that wasn't that long ago.
No, wait, really? He died in 2018. It feels like longer than that.
Yeah, I was gonna say because he died when Pete Davidson was dating Ariana Grande, and that wasn't that long ago.
Yeah. It feels like he died on September 7th, 2018. It feels a lot longer than that,
But see, I didn't get into him until he died. He came up in the news, and somebody showed me his music, and he was already dead when I listened to him. But I in my mind I thought it was like recent music.
Mhm.
Like I've heard his name, but somebody actually like sat me down and showed me his music, and I'm like, oh, this guy's
Smile
talented.
Back is one of my favorite songs by him, dude.
And I love Post Malone. I think Post Malone is a really talented. I don't like everything he comes out with, but I think Post Malone is very talented.
Oh, I think he is too.
Yeah,
I hear he stinks though.
well, he looks like he doesn't bathe.
But like I like bands like Blue October.
My cousin is obsessed with that. Hate me today.
Yep.
That's not, I've never. That's around the time that the alternative pop. That band, Three Doors Down, Switchfoot. Remember Switchfoot?
I love Switchfoot. Yep. Old Switchfoot.
All those bands are like all the stuff that was on the Edge 103.9. You remember that?
Mhm.
Around that time, all those bands, and I like a few of them, but I never see when that stuff was coming out. I was listening to, like I was listening to like Jane's Addiction, like more of the grungy stuff when that stuff was big. The Three Doors Down, and I had Kryptonite. I had that album. Or is it called Kryptonite? Whatever album Kryptonite's on. I had that one. I loved Goo Goo Dolls, except for the shit that was on the radio. Loved Goo Goo Dolls, and they were very pop rock, but all the shit they had on the radio I hated. Like, except for Iris. Iris is a beautiful song, but
dude, like fucking like this is my playlist on the phone or on my phone that I listen to all the time to just show you like how random my music and tastes are. Like I have Plain White Tees, Steve Miller Band,
Kings of another one I've never got into.
Kings of Leon, Shinedown, Linkin Park, Journey, Young Money, Katy Perry, the 1975, Neutral Milk Hotel, Lucas Graham, Stomping Ground or Goldfinger,
I love
Lord Huron, Blink 182, Post Malone, a lot of Weezer, a lot of Gorillaz, a lot of Death Cab for Cutie. So
Death Cab's another one I never got into.
got
I
some
call them
Asia,
I call them sleepy emo.
The Rapture, James Blunt, The Cure,
Can't go wrong with The
David
Cure.
Bowie, Air Supply, Rolling Stones.
And I don't like Rolling Stones. I
Hell
love Paint It
yeah.
Black. Paint Black's a great song, but
The Smiths, Radiohead, like
Smith's
Imagine
good.
Dragon, Elton
Not
John. Like I've all got all kind of like my shit's all over the place, dude.
not
Cat
into Imagine
Stevens,
Dragons.
Roy Orbison.
So
Oh.
my dad listened to Rolling Stones all the time. I'm not a Rolling Stones fan. I think you fall into one of two camps. Either like Rolling Stones a lot or you like the Beatles a lot. I think there's people that
I like
kind of
both.
like both, right? But you either love the Beatles or you love the Rolling Stones, but you don't love both, right?
Yeah, I like both. I don't
I
love one or the other.
I love the Beatles. Don't really like Rolling Stones. I like a couple songs from Rolling Stones. Mick Jagger gets on my fucking nerves, dude. But you like, I don't like Guns N' Roses, and you like Guns N'
Dude,
Roses.
I do.
We've had this
November
conversation.
Rain, dude. November Rain is like
It's
my
his
all-time
voice.
favorite Guns N' Roses song.
They have a lot of songs that are well written and well produced. I hate Axl Rose's voice.
Yeah, you're not alone in that.
Passion.
You're not alone in that.
I hate and it's so bad that I can't listen to it. I've heard covers of November Rain. I've heard covers of Paradise City. I've heard covers of other things, and I love those songs. And Paradise City was big because of Can't Hardly Wait, right?
Yeah.
But I can't stand Axl Rose's voice, and it's the same for Mick Jagger. I'm not a big Mick Jagger fan, and he really turned me off when they did that Super Bowl. Remember?
Yeah.
He's like 70 years old, and he's wearing like not booty shorts. They were like low hip hugging pants.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, dude, you are a grandfather. What the fuck are you doing? And he's kind of doing that like shimmy dance that he does. And I'm like, this guy fucking annoys the shit out of me.
The big takeaway from all this is I think we're going to get comments that are like, these guys don't know shit about music. Fuck music.
Dude, I've been playing, writing, and producing my own music for over 2 decades.
But you don't know what band Ice-T is in. We both didn't know.
I know who Body Count, but I couldn't remember who's in what. We're talking about stuff I haven't talked about. And it's not a genre of music that I'm like proficient
passionate
in.
about. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like stuff that I've heard that I'll know it if I hear it, but it's not stuff that I sought out, right?
Mm-hmm.
We start talking about punk rock bands, and I could talk all night, you know. But or rock band, some rock bands, certain genres and stuff. But I don't know, man. Like if you look at my vinyl collection, it's like a weird collection of shit. I've got Johnny Cash, I've got Neil Diamond, I've got Alkaline Trio and Blink and all those bands. And then I've got Chicago, right? Which is kind of like that 60s pop, you know. I've got just a weird collection of shit. You know what I mean? Like, I don't sit here and say I listen to everything. I don't, right? I hate people that say that. Oh, I listen. What kind of music you like? Oh, I listen to everything. No, the fuck you don't. No one listens to everything.
I mean, I say whenever someone's like, what kind of music do you listen to? I go, my music to me depends on my mood and the mood I'm in right now.
That's a good answer.
So I can listen to anything from, pop punk to rock to classic rock to R&B to rap to, a little bit of country, whatever. It just really depends on my mood,
Yeah, I don't sit here and attest to say that I listen to everything, but I do listen to a lot of stuff, and I go through phases. Right. Yeah. So right now my phase is the pop punk stuff. A couple months ago, my phase was metal. I was listening to Cradle of Filth and Children of Bodom and the bands like that. Right. A couple months before that, I was way into the old 90s country that I grew up on. Right. I was listening to Garth Brooks and George Strait and Shania Twain and shit.
And right now I'm into Bluey.
Bluey's awesome.
I'm
Bluey's
into
awesome.
Bluey, so
So I go through phases, right? And right now I'm just really focused on showing my daughter because she's shown an interest in music. Specifically, she's shown an interest in the music I listen to. So right now I'm like just really having fun showing my daughter all the shit I listen to and catching her, she doesn't want me to know that she likes it, but I'll catch her listening to it.
yeah.
Like when I walk in the house from work and she's listening to, some old Green Day or shit.
Yeah, because
And,
the minute that you're like, oh, I remember this is cool, then it's automatically not cool to her.
Yeah, she does it to piss me off. Yeah. But my daughter has shown a proficiency for being a musician that I showed at her same age. I started playing guitar when I was 13 years old. I was in a Blink cover band at 13 years old. Barely knew my chords. And I remember being with these guys playing Pathetic and Josie. And it was like right when Enema came out, I think. And we started a Blink cover band. And that was my first, we played a show in front of like 10 people. And that was I was like 14. Played a show in front of 10 people. And that was like, I got hooked, dude. Nothing better than playing a fucking show, dude. Nothing in this life is better than that.
Dude, I was watching the original American Pie the other day, and I completely forgot that Blink is in the original American Pie movie. Yeah.
Yeah. So Blink is in the original one. They're watching
they're watching Jim's fucking video when he's dancing for Nadia.
Yeah, but what's the actress's name?
Shannon Elizabeth.
Yeah. They're watching that, and then the start of the second one starts with their song.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Every Time I Look
at the party,
which is one of my favorite songs. I love Every Time I Look for You.
But yeah, I forgot that they were in that.
Yeah, that's when they got that was right around the time the Enema was coming
huge.
Out. Yeah, they blew up. And he talks about, if you watch the Zane Lowe interview that came out, they talk about how they were playing like shitty clubs. And then overnight we're playing like arenas after that album came out. And they just did they caught lightning in a bottle, dude. You could really say that Blink changed the music scene at that time. Between them and Green Day, which Green Day was a little bit before them, but Green Day was still more adult, right? Mm-hmm. Blink, basically everything about Blink tells you that they shouldn't have gotten as big as they did. But because they were true and genuine, they kind of taught us all that it's okay to be ourselves in front of people.
Yeah.
Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
We don't have to put out some sort of product.
Yeah. I can agree with that.
So, but dude,
but speaking of product, you just spent almost 50 minutes talking about music.
Sorry, dude. Music's my number one passion.
No, it's fine.
Me. You know this about me.
That's what this show is about. It's supposed to be about. It's about nerding out and geeking out about what you're into. And that's cool that you're into music. But I want to talk about what I'm into right now. And that's fucking Spider-Man 2.
Yeah. So tell me, so I asked you this question and I told you not to answer it until we were on the show, right? So you've gotten how far into Spider-Man 2?
I'm like 35% done with it.
Okay. So you're about a third of the way through it.
Yeah.
I haven't started playing it yet because mine's not going to be here till Sunday, which pisses me the fuck off. Oof. Can I just go on a tangent just for 2 seconds? If you pre-order something, it should be on my doorstep the day it comes out, you fucktards. Like, what the hell?
Where'd you pre-order from? Best Buy?
Yes.
Let me tell you, dude, Best Buy, I had my worst shopping experience ever trying to buy something online through Best Buy. So really? on Wednesday morning, they did a drop for the PS5 Spider-Man cover for the Spider-Man.
Oh, we talked about this, right? The PlayStation 5 console covers.
Yes. So they did a drop for those. The second wave since they came out.
The only way you could do it. New one? They came out with another wave of them?
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
So they were doing a special drop. It was a limited drop that was only through the Best Buy app. So
You couldn't even go on the website. It had to be through the
No,
phone
it
app?
had to be through the app. Yeah. So, and I've heard on X, formerly known as Twitter, that this happened to a lot of people. But so I got in the drop, and I get them in my cart, and I go to purchase them. And the Best Buy. So first of all, it was supposed to start at 11 o'clock or at 10 o'clock our time. Then the app crashed. So then they pushed it to 11 o'clock our time. And then I get in there, I get them in my cart. I'm about to cash out, and the fucking app logs me out.
Oh my gosh.
And then it starts telling me, oh, you have an incorrect password. You have an incorrect password. You have an incorrect password. So I tried to change my password 5 times, and it would not take the password change. Like, it would tell me your password has been changed. So I would go to try to log in with it, and it would tell me incorrect password. I was like, how? I just changed it. Did this 5 times. By the time I finally got in, they were sold out.
Bro,
And they were in two separate times. I had them in my cart, and as I was checking out, I got logged out of their application.
So Best Buy is the worst when it comes to that shit. You remember when the Super Nintendo
Terrible,
Classic came out?
Mm-hmm.
The same experience with me, dude. I had one. They were like, because the first one sold like hotcakes, and luckily I was able to get one right for market price, not for retail price, not for the market price. And so they announced the Super Nintendo. They were going to do a pre-sale for them on Best Buy, and the same thing happened to me, dude. Not the password thing, but I had it in my cart, and it would not let me complete the order. And then finally it said, we're sold out. Best Buy is the worst, man. So what I ended up doing is on release day, I stood in line at Walmart and got it. And there was like 50 people in line. Like half the people did not get one.
Yeah, like, it's fucking stupid. You might as well just walk in the store and buy it, dude. Like, this is the first time in probably 5 years I pre-ordered this game from GameStop, only because I found, when we were moving, I found a $40 gift card to GameStop.
Oh, right. That's what you told me.
So I was like, all right, well, I guess I'm going to use that to pre-order Spider-Man 2 then. But what were you
went
want
and
to
picked
know?
it up?
Yeah.
They didn't come to your house?
No, I went and picked it up at the store.
In hindsight, I wish I would have.
I lived 10 minutes from GameStop.
Yeah, in hindsight, I wish I would have just shipped it to store and went and picked it up on my way home today, because I really want to play it. Like, you and Max have been talking in the text thread about it, how great it is, and I'm like, fuck, mine's not going to be here till the 22nd. Like, that pisses me off, dude. You
Dude,
know that it's sitting in their inventory before the
game
release date.
drops you into a badass boss fight right off the rip.
Yeah, that's what you were saying. And then I said, shut up, no spoilers.
Yeah.
I don't want to know who you're fighting. I don't want. Well, that's kind of how the first one was. Like, the first one, I remember that within the first level, you're battling Wilson Fisk.
I'm talking like the first 5 minutes, you're in a badass boss fight.
Awesome.
And it's been like, honestly, I probably, you wanted to know how I'd rank this, so I'd probably rank this over.
Yeah, that's the question, and then we went.
It's hard. It's hard for me because I haven't finished it yet. But
you want to see how the ending is to really
get
full.
Yeah, right now where it stands, I probably do Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man, then Miles Morales.
So this is at the top of your list right now?
Yeah, absolutely.
Miles Morales is pretty damn good, dude.
It was. The reason I put it down low is because it felt more like a DLC to the first Spider-Man.
It's
there
short.
Wasn't a whole lot. It is very short.
Was it 7 hours of gameplay?
I think it was a little bit longer than that, but there wasn't a whole lot to like sink your teeth into, and it felt very much like just a clone of the first Spider-Man game. This one feels a lot similar, but the story is so good so far. The dynamic between Miles and Miles and Peter working together is really good.
That was my one beef about Miles Morales is I kept assuming that you were going to be able to have scenes with Peter.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you do have one, right? But then he goes like
out of the country.
Yeah, he goes on like vacation or shit, which is totally out of character. Spider-Man doesn't go on vacations.
Yeah, but it's cool to see like the two teams interact. So it's cool to see like MJ interacting with Miles and Genki interacting with Peter and Genki interacting with MJ and like all these set pieces interacting with each other. And the story so far is so good. I haven't got to the Venom stuff yet, even, but like
Starts out with
Kraven the
Kraven.
Hunter, Kraven the Hunter has been really cool so far. Like it's not like not really Kraven hunting basically. You get it from the trailer, but Kraven starts hunting all of these villains, rogues gallery of Spider-Mans for sport. Is pretty much what
because
it
that's
is.
Kraven's character.
Yeah, so like he's hunting Scorpion and he's hunting Negative Man from the Miles Morales game and hunting Black Cat, and so like it's just been like so good so far. And it just the storytelling in these Spider-Man games and any of these Sony standalone games, period, like these Sony exclusive, the storytelling in Insomniac is so good, dude. Insomniac game storytelling
Insomniac
is so good.
Can you believe this is the studio that brought us Crash Bandicoot?
Right? So
like there's a few publishers as far as storytelling is concerned that are top of the pack, and two of them are PlayStation exclusives: Naughty Dog and Insomniac. And then you've got oh fuck, I had it on my Naughty Dog, Insomniac, and then you got like Red Dead.
Yep.
And then, what's the other one I'm thinking of?
Red Dead's Rockstar.
Rockstar, right? Naughty Dog does Last of Us and Uncharted, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Insomniac did Spider-Man, and they're doing the Wolverine game, right?
Are they doing the Wolverine game? I didn't think they were doing the Wolverine game.
I thought that was Insomniac. Or are they doing the Iron Man game?
I don't know if they released a publisher yet for Wolverine game. Maybe they are doing it. I know they did Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah. That's Insomniac.
Yeah, Insomniac is Ratchet and Clank,
which is very much in that Crash Bandicoot lane, right? Ratchet and Clank has a bit more story to it, though, doesn't it?
Yeah. They did like Sunset Overdrive, Ratchet and Clank, Spyro. I don't think they did Crash Bandicoot.
It created Crash Bandicoot. Or that's Naughty Dog. Naughty Dog did Crash Bandicoot, right?
Trying to think, because I haven't played a Crash Bandicoot game.
I'm pretty sure it started with, or was it Insomniac? Now I'm going back and forth. I might be thinking Naughty Dog because it's an animal. No, Naughty Dog.
Naughty Dog did Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah, which my sentiment still remains. Can you believe that the guys that created Last of Us and Uncharted did Crash Bandicoot?
Yeah.
But can you believe the guys that did Ratchet and Clank did Spider-Man?
Right.
You know? But what's the other one that I was thinking of? The Arkham series. Like they're really good storytellers.
I think that was Rocksteady. Yeah.
But
didn't Insomniac also do the shitty Avengers game?
No, that was Square Enix, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, that's right.
Which I like that game. Like might be too. I played that game. I beat it. I enjoyed my time playing it. In no way will it go down as one of my most favorite games. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You're following me on that one?
Yeah.
Who was the other fucking publisher I was thinking of that does for both? Was it Rockstar? Maybe it was Rockstar. I'm looking at the best story.
So yes, Insomniac Games is making the Wolverine game. You were correct. So that game is probably going to be fucking badass.
Well, that I remember that was the big thing about it was, holy shit, I can't believe that Insomniac's doing the Wolverine game and it's going to be exclusive to PlayStation.
Yeah, and it's going to be super fucking violent from everything I've read. I'm stoked. I can't wait.
It needs to be.
But like, if you Spider-Man 2 took everything I loved about the first Spider-Man game and built upon it, as to where I feel like Miles Morales just kind of added to it, like kind of took it and ran with it with just the Miles story. But like Spider-Man 2 has built upon it. So like I'm having so much fun playing it, like to the point where like last night I got it at 9, was up until almost 1 playing it. Then I had to force myself to go to bed because I had to work today. But I woke up at like 4:30 this morning because my dog had to go out. And I was like, well, I'm up now. I'm just gonna play Spider-Man until I have to start working. I played it for like 4 hours before I had to start working. And then
Jeez.
yeah, I'm like,
I can't do that, dude. Like I'll go through a day like where like I'm into it and then I take a couple days off. I never beat games that quickly. Max like
nah, dude,
flies
like,
through this shit.
yeah, I have not been like this jonesing to play a video game in so long. Like I was like, do I want to, when you messaged me, you're like, are we recording tonight? I was like, ooh, do I want to record tonight or do I want to skip so I can play Spider-Man? I was like, no,
Well,
I should probably.
I remember so it's Friday. We record this on Friday, release on Tuesday. And it's and I said, hey, because you said, hey, let's do 8. And then I was finishing up my house, cleaning it and stuff before my wife got home. And I said, hey, can we do 8:30 instead? And you were like, man, you're really trying to push into my Spider-Man
time.
Yeah. So the Iron Man game that's coming out is gonna be done by EA. So I'm not sure if that's gonna be any good.
Boo.
But EA just did something. Didn't EA do the Star Wars games, the Jedi?
Yes.
And those are good. So maybe. But they're going to be like the first game that uses Unreal Engine 5, right?
No, there's already games out there using Unreal Engine 5.
But that's like, for some reason, that's the headline for this. Not that they're the first one, but it says the Iron Man game will be based on Unreal Engine 5. Like, is that notable?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's like their newest engine, so
it's gonna look good, is what they're saying.
Yeah, it'll look really good.
I love playing that VR Iron Man game. I think it's so fun.
I can't play the VR. My VR headset makes me sick.
Really? Is
Yeah.
it because the games you're playing?
I don't know, like I think it's just more so like the head movement, and like I get motion sickness, so just the movements and shit, it just makes me sick.
So I get motion sickness. So I downloaded this racing game, right? In the racing game, you're using the thumbsticks to turn the car, right? So you can turn the car and your view will change, but your head doesn't move, right? So it's not like you're doing like this. So you turn the car this way, like a regular car, and you could look this way and turn the car that way. That makes me sick. But when I play, and I got sick quick off that one. But if I play Resident Evil and the only way I can move is when I turn my head, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's teleporting, right? So you're not walking and then looking like this. Like you can't do that. Like you teleport to where you want to go. There's no walking, right? I don't get sick with that one. And I was talking with the guy that did VR in Lake Havasu. He was in company, and he's like, yeah, with VR, if it's real head tracking, nobody should be getting motion sickness from that. So it might just be you need to find games that work better for you. Dude, I can't even play GoldenEye without getting motion sickness.
Well, I can do that, but like bar fights is one of the games I like to play on my VR headset, and it's like it's just weird because like I mean, when you move around, your stuff moves, but like just they get right up in your face, and so I don't know. It just after like 20 minutes of playing it, I start getting motion sickness.
Yeah, so it might just be that game. It might just be a game that's not good for you.
I just haven't found a game that is like intriguing to me to play.
Have you played the NFL game?
I have, yes. I do have.
I love that fucking NFL game.
But
that game's fun, dude.
Yeah, it's the only way you'll get the Cardinals to go back to the Super Bowl.
No, that game's fun, man. I have a lot of fun, and they don't really get up in your face.
Yeah,
really, like that you tackle. You're like, where the fuck did that come? Like you don't even know. It gave me a new appreciation for quarterbacking.
Yeah.
Like shit's happening. So when you watch it from the seats or from your TV, you don't realize like how fast that shit's happening.
Yeah.
You know? But yeah, but I played some game at the VR place because they have HTC Vives, which oh my gosh, the resolution and how those HTC Vives work make the Meta Quest look like it was made 20 years ago. But I played this one where you're being led by this like Pope guy holding a lantern, and you're just
I'm
being
the
attacked.
Pope.
He's not a pope, but he looks like the guy from Assassin's Creed. And your whole thing is to protect this guy, like not let this guy die, and you yourself not die as well. And you're just being attacked by wolves and demons and shit. I was having so much fun, and it's so intense and shit coming at you and stuff. But I played it for 10, 15 minutes. I was like, dude, I need a break, man. This is too much. And I hate that you're fucking got this tether.
It's me. I'm the Pope.
So are you so you're not caught up on Loki yet, right?
No, I'm one episode. I've not watched the new episode. I'm gonna probably do that once we get off here.
So let me just say with Loki, and maybe we can review all of it the next time we meet, like up to date. I definitely feel like it's amping up. Like I haven't felt a drop off yet, but it's a Disney Plus show, so I'm assuming a drop off is coming. I'm assuming a drop off in quality is going to be here eventually. But
how many episodes are we on Loki? 4?
No, 3.
3?
Yeah.
So okay, 3. So I didn't really care for episode 1.
Okay,
but I
it was
really
setting
liked
up a new
episode
story.
2. Yeah, but I really liked episode 2. So there's a crazy theory going around that the TVA's mission is actually going to be going to these different timelines that are being pruned and plucking heroes out of them
For Secret Wars
and moving them to Battle World for Secret Wars. And that Deadpool is going to set up a lot of this. And that you're going to get your new Avengers team fighting Kang and Kang Dynasty. And while all this is going on, the TVA, Mobius and Loki and the TVA are going through and pulling out these heroes from these other timelines. So that's why you're going to get the rumor is that's why you're going to get Tony Stark back in the MCU. You're going to get Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man leading the Secret Wars team.
But do you think that they showed all these people in a TV show?
What? No. So that's going to be, you're going to see that play out through like after credits in the movies and stuff.
Oh, they're going to harken back to the Loki show with
yeah,
Mobius?
Like Deadpool 3 is going to do a lot to move this multiverse story along. That's why you're getting all these cameos in Deadpool 3.
This sounds plausible. I've learned a while ago to not put stock in any of these theories.
I mean, that one
How long have we been saying Mephisto's coming?
Well, he's been confirmed for the Ironheart series whenever that comes in. But
yeah, but we've been saying for years it's Mephisto. It's Mephisto.
Yeah.
Right? Mephisto was supposed to be in the Scarlet Witch show.
Yeah.
You know? So I've just learned, I'm like, you know what? It's fun to talk about, but I've gotten my hopes up before.
Yeah.
Like if I could see Tobey Maguire in a true black suit, like not the stupid one he had at Spider-Man 3.
Well,
but the true black
there's
suit,
a lot of like
awesome.
You know that after the events of No Way Home that they want to get him and Andrew Garfield back in another movie. Like that they want to use him again.
That's the last movie that they had that made like mega money. right? That's the last Marvel movie that made a shit ton, right?
Yeah.
Because didn't they cross $1 billion? And I don't think any other Marvel movie has since, right? Wakanda Forever did not, right?
No, I don't think so.
And Wakanda Forever has the culture part behind it. You know what I mean? So Wakanda Forever like is a slam dunk as far as making money. And I don't even think it pulled in Spider-Man money.
No, I don't think it did either.
But so they're desperate to like reinvigorate the MCU. And Bob Iger, it seems like he's putting a lot of emphasis on fixing the MCU because that's their main moneymaker, like Disney. Star Wars, they don't release enough Star Wars stuff to be a really like the primary product, right? Marvel seems to be like the primary product because there's so much more that they can do with Marvel than they can with Star Wars, or that they're willing to do with Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
So they got to fix it because it's on a decline. If you look at what the last few movies have done.
Well, and then,
So-
but I mean, you have Kevin Feige sitting out here saying, "Oh well, Marvel movies could go on for years to come, and we're just scratching the surface of what the MCU has to offer."
Yeah, but I think you're going to see a lot of scrap projects, stuff that we thought that was coming out that's no longer coming out.
Yeah, because I think they're going to reboot. Like, I really think they will reboot. Like, Secret Wars is probably going to be our lead into a reboot.
Well,
And you're
it's a
going to
good
get all
opportunity to
new
do it.
teams. You're going to get new Avengers, new. Like, they'll probably recast a new Captain America, and they'll recast all these characters. I don't know.
See,
though.
if they're talking about another trilogy with Tom Holland, and
Yeah,
if they
they're
do
gonna do
another trilogy with Tom Holland,
3
like
more
those movies are
Spider-Man
going to
movies.
come out after Secret Wars.
Not necessarily, because Secret Wars got moved. I want to say Secret Wars got moved to 2026.
Yeah, but you can't do
So
3 Spider-Man movies in 3 years.
if they shoot them back to back, they can.
They're not going to release. They haven't even started the first one, and we're already closing in on 2024.
Well, they couldn't because they had the writer strike, and then they had now they've got the actor strike, and they can't really do anything.
Yeah, but
until,
say Secret Wars now gets pushed to 2027.
I don't
right?
think it will.
Well, I'm just speaking hypothetically.
Yeah.
Right? So say because of the writer strike or actor strike and all that stuff, that Secret Wars gets pushed to 2027.
Mhm.
Okay. Spider-Man, 4, 5, 6 start shooting next year, 2024, if this writer or actor strike ever ends. That means 3 years. That means they would have to release a movie, a Spider-Man movie every 2024, 2025, 2026, 2027. There's no way, dude. One of them, at least one of them, would have to come out after Secret Wars. So and the reason I'm bringing this up is, yes, I do think a reboot is on the horizon. And I really hope they don't do the same storyline. I don't want another Thanos storyline if they do a reboot. But I think some of them will carry over. I don't think they're willing to lose the girl that plays Miss Marvel. I don't think they're willing to lose Tom Holland. I think there's certain ones that they feel like these ones can carry on. We can, you know what I mean? I think they're itching to get rid of Brie Larson. Brie Larson. I've read a lot of stuff about the Brie Larson just not having the charisma to be tentpole character.
Oh, apparently the Marvels is not.
It's trending for like 40 or 50 million opening week
it's
or
not
something.
trending great, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's like it's not Marvel money. I mean, there's certain movies that would love to make 40 or 50 million, but 40 or 50 million is what I thought I saw. But Brie Larson is like, I think they want to move away from her. I think they want to move away from Hemsworth and go younger. Right?
Yeah, I think Hemsworth's time is definitely coming to an end.
Yeah. And I think they want to move away from the Kang guy. What's his name?
Jonathan Majors.
Jonathan Majors, because of all his shit going on. But I think there's certain things. I think Tom Holland, like, do you want to see a fourth Spider-Man actor? I think they would use Tom Holland to usher in Miles. I think
if you're gonna get a new Spider-Man actor, it's gonna be Miles.
Yeah, I think that they, after the success of the Into the Spider-Verse and Across the Spider-Verse, right, that they're gonna want to get a live action Miles.
Well, and we already know that one's coming. They've already announced that a live action Sony's already announced a live action Miles Morales is coming.
They'd be stupid not to.
So,
but I think that the sixth Spider-Man movie with Tom Holland needs to be used as that vehicle to transition. But I don't think there's any way that it comes out before Secret Wars. And remember, Disney's a bit beholden to Sony on that, right? If Sony says,
that's what I was gonna say, is that Sony sets the release of those Spider-Man movies, so it's not up to Marvel how those movies are released. Like if Sony says, okay,
they have a little bit of say, right?
We want to release
has to fit in the narrative.
Well, they have a plot say, yes, but they want to say, okay, well, we want to get this movie slated to release on this date. Marvel's gonna get it in there, you know.
Yeah, but if the plot for Spider-Man 4 is Kang is dead, right? Sony is going to play ball a little bit with Marvel and say, okay, we understand that this can't come out before this or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So Marvel has a little bit of play there, but ultimately, I mean, Sony wanted a Christmas Spider-Man movie, right? Or the movie to be released around Christmas, and it got moved before Doctor Strange, and Doctor Strange was originally supposed to be before Spider-Man. So yeah, Sony can pull the strings a little bit, and Marvel has to play ball. But if Sony says we don't want to recast Tom Holland, fuck your universe, Marvel's going to have to keep going forward with Tom Holland.
Well,
if they want to use Spider-Man,
Sony,
unless they can.
Sony, I think Sony has final say on that too, because they're the ones.
Right.
Tom Holland is actually the Sony property, so
yeah, I don't think he gets paid by Disney. He gets paid by Sony,
because Sony still owns the rights to Spider-Man. They just are working with Marvel to.
It's like a co-publishing thing.
Yeah, well, yeah, they're working with Marvel to put out Spider-Man movies.
Isn't it that Sony bankrolls the movie and that Disney handles the marketing of it? Isn't it?
I don't know. I don't know how that works, and I'm not going to pretend like I know how that whole deal works. Because now you're talking about like the ins and outs of that industry. And
I don't think anybody really knows what that contract looks like.
Yeah,
that agreement.
I don't, and like I said, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I do.
But do you think that Disney wants
all
to
I know
get
is
out
that
of
it's
the Ryan Reynolds game?
No, they are gung ho. Like Ryan Reynolds is. They are gung ho behind Deadpool. They've already said like they're fully supporting Deadpool, and as soon as that comes back, as soon as the writers or the actor strike is over, they're back in the game. And
yeah, it's going to get
back
pushed
to work
again.
on.
It's got to get pushed. It's supposed to come out in May next year.
Yeah, they already said it's going to get pushed to probably maybe later next year, like July. But
yeah,
they're saying that Captain America, the first Sam Wilson Captain America movie, the
Brave New
World is going to get pushed too.
I hear they're rewriting a lot of it.
Well, that's yeah.
I hear a lot of stuff's getting rewritten.
Yeah.
And I think that has a lot to do with the Bob Iger thing.
What did I read? I can't remember what movie it was or what it was that they were coming back and going to do a complete rewrite of everything. Like,
yeah, there was one that I read about that like I thought was
Daredevil,
the show
Born Again. Yeah, they cut, like they fired all the head writer and fired all these people, and they're like going back to doing complete rewrites and shit. It's messy.
Yeah, apparently the one that I read was that the original writing wasn't going to have him back in the suit until like episode 4. And now
Yeah,
they're rewriting it to get him
they
back
were
in the suit by episode 2.
trying to make it more of a like Law and Order courtroom drama versus superhero.
Which that works so well for She-Hulk.
Yeah.
And apparently the catalyst for him getting back in the suit is going to be Froggy's dead.
Yeah, they're gonna kill off Foggy Nelson.
Foggy.
And
Did I say Froggy? I meant Foggy.
yeah. And I want to say her name was Jane.
Yeah, Deborah Ann Wolf.
And Wilson
Jane?
Fisk. Yeah.
No.
Whoever the blonde-haired girl was.
Yeah, the main girl.
The blonde-haired girl that he was like defending in season 1 of the Netflix show.
Yeah, it's Deborah. Isn't it Deborah Ann Wolf? Isn't that her name?
But in Kingpin was going to be mayor, which does happen in the comic books, that he becomes mayor, but people are just saying that it didn't make a lot of sense. So going back to complete ground up reworks.
Karen is her name.
Yeah, Karen.
I think it's a mistake to kill off Foggy. I don't understand why they're doing that, because I really like that actor.
Which is why they're not gonna do it. That's one thing I want from Deadpool is I want to see John
Daredevil
Favreau.
or Deadpool?
Deadpool. I want it in Deadpool 3 because there's that talk that Ben Affleck is coming back to reprise his role as Daredevil. I want to see John Favreau back as Foggy Nelson.
Dude, I forgot that he was.
Yeah, he's Foggy Nelson in the Ben Affleck Daredevil movie.
That'd be funny. All I know is we're getting John Bernthal, right?
As Punisher, yeah.
He's another one that I don't think that Marvel would want to recast. So that's why I'm thinking it's soft reboot. Like it's not going to be a full, everything's done. Here's the new, like we're going to completely start fresh. I think there's certain actors that they're like, oh, we want to be in this game. Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, but there's
Tom Holland.
They're going to let Ryan Reynolds play Deadpool as long as people are going to see the theaters and he wants to play the character. Like
the star hasn't been higher than it is now. Like that dude
are fully buying in on Deadpool.
I mean, that dude can come out with a movie with a stupid ass name and people will like Free Guy. Nobody knew what the fuck that movie was about. It had a dumb name.
Free Guy was great.
And it was great. People went and saw it because of Ryan Reynolds. He has a documentary about owning a soccer team and people are watching it.
Great. I have not watched any of the new episodes of Welcome to Wrexham.
I've been watching them. They're okay. Like it's just funny. I really live for the parts where they are interviewing Rob and Ryan. I really don't care about all the other crap. But the other day, dude, my uncle, my dad's brother, comes into my parents' house and he's wearing a Wrexham shirt. I'm like, and it says Reynolds on the back.
Oh, nice.
Like, where the hell did you get that? It's like, oh, in California, I bought it. Like Wrexham's huge because of Ryan Reynolds. Like most people don't know who Rob McElhenney is, if I said that name, unless you're an Always Sunny fan. Most people don't know who that is, but you say Ryan Reynolds, people know who the fuck that is. Like that guy is, if I was in a movie studio, I want to buy into the Ryan Reynolds game or Ryan Reynolds market. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then you have Gen V, and Gen V, I'm not sure if I like it, dude.
I love Gen V.
Gen
V's such a good show.
Aspects of it, but they are getting way more into the
you don't like all the dong, huh?
No, it's
too much dong for you.
No, they're getting into the Boys is just kind of like mindless fun, a lot of it. You know, it's an easy watch, it's fun, it's funny, it's Gen V, I think, is the antithesis to that of you're watching the episodes trying to figure out what the hell's going on. Right? There's a little bit. So I'm not sure about it yet. I know that. And they haven't given me a reason to feel to care about any of these characters yet. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I like it because I like the change of pace. I like the shows that make you think a little bit and have a plot where you need to figure it out and
Which I do too. That's why WandaVision's one of my favorite Marvel shows.
stuff. So it's fine for me. Like I'm down for it. But I've enjoyed it so far.
But do you feel like there's any character in there that you're like rooting for?
Hell yeah, and Little Cricket.
Oh yeah, but that's because
I'm just rooting for her to be nude.
I don't think it's gonna happen.
No,
Every
it's
time there's
not.
a sex scene or something, she's
Yeah, they
covered up
won't.
in some way.
Yeah, I don't think the actress wants to be like that, but they have no problem showing dudes dongs and wieners exploding and stuff.
So yeah, I like her, but it's not the same as like Huey or Carl Urban.
I don't really vote for. I don't really like root for either of them either, just because I think they're shitty people. Like all
But
the way
there's
around,
still the
like
underdog
Huey's
story,
just a
you know what
shitty
I mean?
person. Yeah.
Huey, you think is a shitty person?
Yes, absolutely.
Why?
I think he starts out meaning well, and then he's just still driven so much by the revenge of his girlfriend getting killed by A-Train that he just kind of turns into a shitty character. Like I really feel like in the last season when he's taking the compound V and stuff, he just really turns into a shitty character.
But I think that is an earned response from the audience, right? Like, oh, now this guy's shitty because you spent the first season or two rooting for him, right? I hope
I
this
don't
guy
really
gets
think I
everything
root.
because he's the
Again,
lovable, plucky guy, right?
I wouldn't use the term rooting for because you more like feel sorry for him.
Right. So there's an investment into him as the character, right? You feel sorry. Guy loses his girlfriend. The guy has nothing works in an electronics store. The guy gets taken advantage of by what's Carl Urban's character's name? Billy
Butcher.
Billy Butcher gets taken advantage of by Billy Butcher, right? He's just completely fucked over and over again. And then in the third season, he starts to take some of his he starts to empower himself a little bit, right? With Gen V and stuff, and he turns into a dick. But you have that response because you've connected with him for the first two seasons. In this show, I don't feel like the only person that I'm like rooting for because they've given me a reason to root for them and connect with them is the kid's brother that was in the woods. Do you know what I'm talking about? The Golden Boy's brother that was captured because everything that happened to him is so fucked up. Like I want to see more of him, and I feel like I haven't seen enough of him. And I think that he, because of everything that happened to him, he can be the emotional point. And I think the main girl can be, but they don't. Like she had this horrible thing happen with her family, right? Where she killed her parents.
His brother, his brother's name, the Golden Boy's brother's name is Sam.
Yeah, Sam. So in the main girl, what's her name? The one that can control blood.
Is it Marie? Yeah, Marie.
So this is a very traumatic thing that happened, right? And that thing could make you root for her, right? But I feel like they don't.
How could you not root for Little Cricket though, dude? Like
I'm pulling Little Cricket out because she hasn't been. I'm rooting for her because her mom's a piece of shit.
Yeah,
and she's really self-conscious.
Bulimia is her fucking superpower, basically.
But she's not she's not a main character enough, I don't think yet.
I think she is. She's been in every episode. She's like
but she's been a side, like I feel like she's not often involved in the main, like I feel like Marie, the guy that can control things with his mind, right? His dad works at the school, and the girlfriend that can touch people and make them do whatever. She kind of has Rogue, like what's the other one? What's the other X-Men that can tell people what to do?
Emma Frost,
that's right. So she could touch people like Rogue, not steal anything from them, but make them forget. And I feel like it's stealing stuff from them. But
yeah, Jean Grey kind of has
those are the three. Those are the three main ones. Those three. And then Cricket is kind of a main one, but they haven't given her I feel like she's not in the shit as much as those three. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Well, I think she's more in the shit because she's the one that kind of gets involved with Sam, and she's kind of the one that saves Sam, and she,
Yeah.
so I think they're all equally like in it together. But like I said, I root for her because she's the way she's treated online on social media, and
Oh
the
yeah, my
way
heart.
people treat her for her abilities, and like it said, bulimia is basically her superpower, and
Yeah.
like it's shitty. It's real
It's
shitty.
very retrospective to the way social media works in general, right? Like
Yeah.
we kind of put up these people on a pedestal to be, you look at Kendall Jenner and these hot women that are on social media. And then who knows what they're doing to maintain that, right? Like I see parallels to that, but I still feel like she's gonna do more later in the season. So that's what I'm hoping for, that she's gonna be more integral. Right now, I feel like it's those three, Marie and the other two, the Golden Boy's girlfriend and the guy that can control stuff with his mind. I feel like they're the ones that the show wants me to be like, here's your main cast, right? I feel like those three are Sam and Dean Winchester, and then this girl is Castiel in season 1, Cricket.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then Castiel becomes part of the main trilogy in later seasons, but in that first season, he's there and he plays a role, but not like Sam and Dean, right?
Mm-hmm.
But and then what I was saying about Marie is that with the blood thing and what happened with her family is they could elicit a real emotional response from the audience, but I don't think they push on the fact that she killed her family and what that's done to her. I feel like to have that emotional trauma, that she should be less sure of herself at times. Like she should have some real demons and real dilemmas as far as her consciousness is concerned. But there's sometimes when she feels so like empowered and everything. I'm like, is this the same girl that horrible thing happened to, that her sister won't talk to her? It's I just, like I said, I don't know where I'm at with it. I want to see more.
Well,
but I don't think it's as good as
thankfully,
The Boys.
I believe it's already been picked up for season 2.
I hope so. I like it enough to keep watching it. I watched that. Loki and that one come out at the same time, I'm pretty sure. Right? Late
Yeah.
night Thursday. I watched that one before I watched Loki. But I feel like The Boys is better. Would you agree with that?
I don't know. Honestly, like I really like Gen V, and I really like how Gen V's been going off, and I really like the more character depth in Gen V.
See, and I feel there's a lack of character depth.
I mean, if I'm being honest, well, because it's different because it's playing out. You're not given everything handed to you. You're
Right.
kind of having to solve this mystery with them.
Yeah. Maybe
So
that's it.
I do enjoy, like, I enjoyed Gen V. My wife is enjoying Gen V. Like she wouldn't watch The Boys with me, but she's sitting there watching Gen V with me and excited to watch Gen V.
Why wouldn't she
And
watch The Boys?
I don't know, she's never got into it, I guess. And we weren't dating when it started, and like she started watching Gen V with me when it. Nah, that's the thing, is like The Boys is like not a show I have any interest in rewatching.
Really?
Like I enjoy it first run, but it's not one of those shows like Ted Lasso is for me, where I can go, okay, well, time for a rewatch, and
Well, yeah, I guess I agree with you, but I think the simple fact of doing a rewatch just so Aaron can get some of the, Soldier Boy being on screen, why that's so awesome.
well, and how maybe she wouldn't find that to be so awesome.
Yeah. This
I think
latest
you have a different affinity for Soldier Boy just because it is Jensen Ackles, and you're like, oh my god, it's
Well, I
Dean
love it.
Winchester.
I love that dude gets work, and I find it funny. He's a deplorable person in the show. You know,
I want
in
to
the
see
boys.
him.
It's really it's really weird seeing good old boy Dean Winchester. Now he's a prick. Like that's a kind of conflict for me. But
I want to see him be Batman.
I do want, yeah, that'd be awesome. I want to see Jensen Ackles work. That guy has been come in second for so many different roles.
Yeah.
Do you know that he was almost Clark in Smallville? That it was between him and Tom Welling? So I've been watching that podcast with Michael Rosenbaum and Tom Welling. And Tom Welling talks about how he came in an audition and Jensen Ackles was there, and it was between him and Jensen Ackles. How different would that show have been?
Right.
And would we have gotten Supernatural? Probably not.
Probably not, but I want to see him as Batman more than I want to see him as Superman. So
I don't want him to be Superman. I don't think Tom Welling was perfect for that.
Yes, he was. He was good in Smallville.
But
on that note, I think it's time. It's about that time to wrap it up for another great episode. I hope you guys had a good time. If you're new to the show, please make sure to like and subscribe as Lance shows out. Let everyone show off your new hotness you got this week. Ooh. It's saying, play me, Lance. Play me.
Isn't that beautiful right there?
That is cool.
And then you got
It would look really cool with a silver Sharpie sign with each of them signing it.
Well, I got a second one. My hope is to eventually get it signed.
And
that one's the website exclusive, so I hope to get that signed. I get the front sign though, because the frame doesn't really. There's no frame for an open record.
Yeah, but yeah. Hope you guys had a good time. If this is your first time finding us, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Make sure to check out all of our beautiful, beautiful content we have on the channel.
Smash that subscribe button.
Smash that subscribe button.
And go check out Matt's show on Saturdays.
Yeah, check out make sure to check out SNS on Saturdays. And like I said, we're working on getting all kinds of great content coming to the channel. So stay tuned for that. I might even put up some Spiderman 2 gameplay after I finish the game and go back for my second go round. But
you already have it planned in your head. You're gonna play it again.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That's awesome.
But for this week's episode of the Absolute Geek Podcast, I'm Matt.
I am Lance.
And we'll see you guys next time.
All you freaks and geeks,
come all you freaks and geeks, let's listen to Absolute Geek.
Absolute Geek.
We'll go ahead and spread our cheeks,
Spread the cheeks.
and drink
And
some
we're for
Cosby wine.
We'll
Come
drink
on,
some
you
Cosby wine. It makes me feel real fine. See you next time on the Absolute Geek.